What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have the February 2023 Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have an absolutely jam-packed DFW update in store for you guys. We got various movements, aircraft changes, and all kinds of fun items to dive into in today's video. I really hope you guys are excited for this, and without any further delay, let's get started. We'll start right here with the Volaris Airbus A320neo. This guy's currently coming in from Guadalajara and continuing out to Mexico City for us today. This American Airlines Boeing 787-8 is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Seoul, South Korea, and he's going to have a continuing service today out to Santiago. This American Eagle Bombardier Acer 900 on the behalf of Mesa Airlines. We'll be talking about this more later in the update. This guy's currently coming in from Albany, or I'm sorry, excuse me, way wrong of destination there. This guy is currently coming in from Cedar Rapids and continuing today out to Durango. This Frontier Airbus A321 Virginia the Wolf is currently making a non-stop service today in from Denver, and this guy's going to have a continuing service today out to Phoenix. A bunch of new routes starting soon for Frontier, so certainly excited to talk about that. More news to come here in a little bit. This American Eagle Embraer J-175 is currently making the non-stop service today in from Harlington, and this guy's going to have a continuing service today out to Panama City. And this American Airlines Boeing 737-800 is currently coming in from Toronto and continuing today out to Boise, Idaho for us today. And this United Airlines Boeing 737-900 is currently taxiing in. This guy's making a non-stop flight today in from Newark and continuing today over to San Francisco. And let's already get started right here with the East Satellite, as we have a bunch of American Eagle CRJ-700s right here. All right, sorry about macro, but let's get started. The CRJ-700 right here in front of you is currently making the non-stop in from Amarillo, and this guy's going to be over to Stillwater after that. Let's see if I can get it out of macro because there we go. Camera mode is very unlogical. Next up, we have this CRJ-700. This guy's coming in from Colorado Springs, continuing today out to, let's send him out to Baton Rouge. And then the third one is currently making the nonstop service in from Columbia, Georgia, because that service actually will be ending in March. I don't know why, very unfortunate, but we'll send him out there. This guy came earlier today from Fargo, North Dakota. And I believe you have two more down there. The first one's currently coming in from Keelan, Texas, continuing out to Idaho Falls, Idaho. And then the last one at the far down there is currently coming in from Tri-City, Tennessee, and continuing today out to South Bend, Indiana. So certainly nice to get to see all the progression here, really enjoying these routes, and certainly unfortunate that we'll be losing just that one, but we do have the CRJ-700s here for a long time. So very excited about that. Speaking of which, we have two more here to start our Terminal E lineup. We'll start with the SkyWest House Livery CRJ-700. This guy is currently making the non-stop service today in from Midland, Texas, and the and it will be heading over to Springfield, And the one on your left is currently coming in today from St. George, Utah, and will be continuing today over to Monroe, Louisiana. All right, Spirit has a really nice lineup, and we have quite a few of them in here today. Let me see if I can get the camera fixed for you guys. I wish that I could auto turn it off, but there we go. We have three of them today. We'll start with the Airbus A320 on the bottom right of your screen. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today, coming in from Baltimore and continuing out to Las Vegas. The Airbus A319, I believe these will finally, unfortunately, be getting retired later this year, so we'll certainly utilize them to the best of our ability while we have them here. This guy's coming in from Philadelphia, continuing service today out to Tampa, and the 320neo is currently coming in today from Los Angeles and heading out to Orlando MCO. Frontier has the Airbus A320 Georgia to Painted Bunning here at the gate. This guy's currently making the service today in from Cancun and will be continuing out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. I'm sorry, we already did Phoenix. I apologize about that. We'll send this guy over to Tampa instead. And Delta has a really nice lineup over here today, including an Airbus A321 coming in from Atlanta or Citrus Aviation's airport. Then we'll continue back out there. Feel free to submit local fan pictures and subscriber routes. Link in the description as always. And we have two Airbus A220s. We'll begin with the first one. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from Boston, and we'll be heading over to Detroit. I believe we have some new Delta routes on the way. I think there was a couple that they'll be adding, or there was something in the region. So let me pause the video here, and I'll try to go get some research on that. So yeah, not exactly sure what it was off the top of my head, but I'm certainly excited for it nevertheless. And here's a new model, Delta Airlines Airbus A220-300, the latest release. Very glad to have this model. I was on the fence about it, but I'm glad I chose to get it. I think it's a really nice one. This guy is currently making the non-stop service today, in from Detroit, and this guy's going to be heading out over to Minneapolis today. And Delta Airlines Airbus A320 is currently coming in from, this guy is over in from Salt Lake City, and this guy's going to have a continuing service out to Los Angeles tomorrow. I'm sorry. What I was going to say is they have a bunch of A320 routes right now. Minneapolis, Detroit, Salt Lake City, and Los Angeles all are getting 320s on them, even though they're still all getting, most of those are still getting 220s. There's also some A320s there too, so that's nice. Alrighty, JetBlue, Airbus A320, Spotlight tails coming in from New York, heading out to Boston. Both those are daily, I believe, so that's certainly very nice to see. Hopefully Fort Lauderdale soon, we'll see. The merger probably will be getting some news on here pretty soon, so we'll see what happens. The Alaska Airlines, Boeing 737-800 in the Star Wars livery. What a great looking model. This guy's coming in from Portland, continuing out to Seattle. Very common there. Everything's been looking good on those flights. And United Airlines has quite a few movements going on. We'll begin here with their Airbus A320. This guy's kind of making our nonstop service today in from Chicago. We'll be heading out to Washington Dulles. Sorry about the camera. And the Boeing 737 MAX 9 is coming in from Houston, and we'll be heading out to Newark. Love to get to see that. And this MAX 8 will be coming in from, I don't think they're flying many of these to Chicago, but we'll say he's coming in from Chicago and continuing out to Denver. And the Air Canada, the Embraer ERJ-170, or 175, excuse me, is currently coming in today from Montreal and continuing out to Toronto. So quite a nice lineup there. Very impressed to get to see that right there. Alrighty, so what I think we'll do from here is we have a couple aircraft over here we'll get real quick, and then we'll swing around for a new camera angle here in just a second. Currently over here, this is my DIY hard stand. It's not perfect, but it works pretty well for the connotation. We have two aircraft over here waiting for gates for Terminal D, which is fantastic. The Aeromexico Connect Embraer ERJ-190 is currently coming in from Mexico City, and we'll be heading back out there here in a little bit. And the Viva Aerobus, Airbus A321neo, yes. So these have been coming in the last several months, and this is one of many topics I'll talk about at the end of the video regarding my recent trips to DFW. Really excited to get to talk about that. But I did not know that they were doing A321neos. I kind of not necessarily overlooked it, but just one of those that it didn't register until I actually saw it, and then I was like, wow, okay. So really cool to get to see that, and it's certainly awesome. So yes, this guy's coming in from Monterey, and this guy's gonna have a continuing service, over to Mexico City here in a little bit. So exclusively the A321neo, have really enjoyed getting to see those, and A321neo, and really glad to get to see that, so that's fantastic. Alrighty, let's do Terminal D since the lighting's good over here, and then we'll start to continue to progress throughout here. So let's get started with our international carriers today. So we have 3 of them, including one new model that I'm really excited about. I've been looking forward to it for quite some time. We'll start down there at the very end with the Qantas Boeing 787-9. We'll say this guy's coming in from Melbourne today, and we'll be heading back out there. Of course, Melbourne is 3 weekly, and Sydney is daily. So got to see Qantas's continued commitment to Dallas-Fort Worth, and I'm really excited to see what they can do in the future. Melbourne, to my knowledge, has been doing pretty good. So really excited to see what happens with that, and that should be awesome. So like I said, out to Melbourne today. Brand new model for the collection, the Finnair Airbus A350-900 is currently loading up with a non-stop service today out to Helsinki. Really excited to finally have this model. NG Models did a really good job on it, and I wish I would have been able to get it out a little bit earlier because I did get it unboxed, but wasn't able to get it in the previous 3 updates because, as you guys may know, I record 3 updates at once usually. But really glad to finally have these in here, and it's a really nice model. So what a beauty. Really glad to have it. Service out to Helsinki. It's going to be a great component for the model airport, and I'm very hopeful to continue to get the new airlines like this. Still in need of Iberia and Air France particularly, the first 2 that come to mind, so hopefully I'll be able to get those soon. But we'll talk about that here a little more in a little bit. But very glad to have that, and what a great looking model. Qatar's Airbus A350-1000 is coming in, of course, from Doha. I think it's QR729 is the flight number, so very cool to get to see that. We'll be heading back out here in a little bit, so great flight right here. Double daily still with that 777-200 LR. Would love to have a model of that to kind of flip-flop around. It would be cool for my morning Asia ops to go along with Japan, Korean, and Emirates, but nevertheless still really cool to have Qatar's 35K here on their afternoon service. I'm excited to see how they develop on that. Good job by Qatar, and I think they're going to try to add even a couple days with 3 flights going into the near future. This British Airways Airbus A380-800, of course, coming in from the one and only London Heathrow. Have been super fortunate to get to see this a couple times and get to see what it's all about. It's a really cool service. Really excited to see how British Airways can continue to develop upon that. They've done a really good job as of late, and I've really enjoyed getting to see all their progression on that route. So well done by British Airways. Actually consistent. I can't believe it, but yes, this guy is service out to London Heathrow here in a little bit. All right, American Airlines also has quite a few movements going on. We'll begin with their Boeing 777-200ER in the One World livery. This guy's going to make our non-stop service today. Let's see where this guy's going to be heading out to, because American's heavy network seem to be ever changing. This guy's currently making the service today in from Frankfurt. This guy's going to have a continuous service today out to Shanghai, which has been 2 weekly. So I apologize that I haven't been getting Shanghai in here consistently because it has been going 2 weekly. But when I check the board, usually on the weekends, it's usually like Monday and Friday, or Monday, Thursday, so I don't see it, so that's my fault. But yeah, Shanghai's going really good, so I'm glad to get to see that. I'm excited to see how American can continue to build on that route, so that's really nice. This is American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER is currently loading up passengers, fuel, all that fun stuff. Non-stop service out to London Heathrow, of course. Our only Boeing 777-300 route right now, ER, but certainly a really cool one. Flies 3 times a day. One 777-200 in BA's flight as well. So really excited to see how they can continue to develop that, and really glad you get to see the service there going really strong. Sorry about the mediocre lighting, but we have a really exciting debut of 2 American Airlines aircraft right here, Boeing 787-8 and a 787-9 for NG models. I'll be sure to swing back around here in a little bit, but very glad to finally have both these. They're really, really nice models, and I'm really, really glad to have them. Really nice, and I'm so glad that NG chose to do both these. Completely different connotations for both releases, but hey, really nice to have them side by side, and more new models for the collection. We absolutely love to get to see it. The Boeing 787-9 is making the non-stop service up to Auckland today. This ends on its seasonal service now this month. It's 4 months of the year here in the winter when they have summer in Auckland. So certainly glad that we had it this year. It's really cool that we did. This guy's out to Chicago O'Hare here in a little bit. So really cool to get to see this right here. Really nice route, and Auckland hopefully did really good. Hopefully we'll see it back here in the next winter for us. This is American Airlines Boeing 787-8 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Madrid, and will continue out to Cancun. Really glad to see those services going really well, and they've done a really good job on that. So that's also a new NG model. I can kind of zoom in and get a different lighting perspective. It's really nice. NG did a great job. Got the Wi-Fi box, a really good color. All the attributes you'd want on the Boeing 787-8. So that looks really good. I'm certainly glad to see how well they did on that. So well done there by NG. We also have 2 American Airlines mainline aircraft here to round out Terminal D. These will both be domestic flights. We have a Boeing 737-800. This guy's currently making the nonstop service out to Austin today. A logo on the winglet as well. I'm sorry, I can barely see over there. And this guy's over to Boston after that. And PSA Airbus A319. This guy's going to be heading out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport, where I saw it. I don't think it was going out to Atlanta. It was probably a Charlotte or O'Hare flight, but thought we'd have some fun with it there. And this guy's going to have a continuing service today out to, not going to be Des Moines, because that is now, I think, all 737s. This guy's going to be heading out to Houston Intercontinental instead. So very glad to get to see that. I'm excited to see how they can continue to develop on it, like I said. All right, into the American Airlines action we go. American Airlines has been doing a bunch as of late, so really excited to talk about all these different movements. So let's get started. Airbus A320 currently loading up. There's been a bunch of returning and different Airbus A320 routes, so let's talk about them. The first one here is going to be making the nonstop service today in from Destin, Fort Walton Beach, and continuing out to Louisville, which is another new A320 route. So certainly interesting, but looking really good. Pushing back, we have the brand new NG models, American Airlines. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. I'll just use a different route for this one. I'll get off the top of my head. American Airlines 737-800. Really glad to have this NG model. It's super nice. I got 3 of these, and I'm not regretting my decision whatsoever. This is the current colors, of course, no logo on the winglet, but this version, the big contrast to the 2019 release is the nose landing gear is in a really good position. The nose cone's really good, and the Wi-Fi box is also there. So all 3 of those attributes make for a perfect 737, and I kind of want to get more of them, to be honest, but I think I'm really in a good position. I'll talk a little bit here in a little bit at the end of the video about my American Airlines fleet evaluation, kind of changing it up a little bit because there will be some changes. But nevertheless, this flight's pushed back with a non-stop service today out to Tulsa International Airport, seeing a bunch of 737s. This guy came in earlier today from Denver, Colorado. So certainly glad to get to see that, and I'm excited to see where they can go with that in the near future. In the back there, we have a bunch of American Airlines mainline aircraft. The Airbus A319 is kind of making the non-stop service today. This guy is coming in today from Harrisburg and continuing today out to Madison, Wisconsin. Flagship Valor, Airbus A321 is making the non-stop service today out to New York LaGuardia. This guy's coming in earlier today from Los Angeles. Airbus A319 on the top of your screen is currently making the non-stop flight. That is a Shotcut variant coming in earlier today from let's go with Monrose in Colorado. And this guy's continuing next up to Memphis, Tennessee. And we have a 737 logo on the winglet down there. This guy's coming in today from Calgary. And this guy has a continuing service today over to Indianapolis. Very nice. At the very end, we have an American Airlines 787-9. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today. This guy's coming in. We'll bring this guy in from Cancun as well because they've had a bunch of those. This guy's coming in from Cancun. And this guy's going to have a continuing service today over to Honolulu, as that's a 2 daily 1789 and 1 777-200. Okay, so let's see here. What's the best way to attack the next portion of this? We will pause on, that perspective is really not that bad, but I'll go around to the other side since we need to get over there anyways. So we have a couple over here that I will get from here since it's a pretty good angle. So we have a Sun Country Boeing 737-800. This guy's coming in from Las Vegas and continuing out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. excited to see how Suncut will continue to develop DFW. It's been a little quiet lately, excuse me, but hopefully they'll have some really good routes here to come in the near future. So looking forward to that, and that should be awesome. We don't have any of these in here right now, but I thought it would still be fun to throw it in. The American Eagle GeminiJets 170 filling in for the, not really filling in, but just coming in here for Envoy. This guy's making a nonstop flight in from McCauley, and this guy's gonna have a teaming service over to, we'll send this guy over to Dayton, Ohio. I've seen a couple there, so let's go with Dayton. But yeah, they kind of rotate in every now and then, so cool to get to see that. It's really nice. And another new model, the American Airlines Airbus A319 with Sharklets and the Wi-Fi box. Kind of want to get another, but I wish the color was slightly better. So we'll see if NG does one, or if I can get another version at some point from Gemini, because I'm sure they're bound to do another. But this is certainly going to work for today. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today. This guy is coming in. We do have some new A319 routes. I'll talk about those a little bit more in a moment. We'll utilize a couple of different ones for this aircraft, though. This guy's coming in from Bogota, and this guy's going to have a continuing service today over to Grand Rapids. So looking really good. Let's transition to the other side, and we got some more aircraft to go, so let's do it. Alrighty guys, here we go into the next section of the update, so let's get started. Currently over there loading up, we have an American Airlines Airbus A321neo. This guy's kind of coming in from Philadelphia and continuing over to Seattle. Very glad to get to see Seattle getting some neos, so that's really nice. And this American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER is currently making the non-stop service today in from Kahului, and this guy's going to have continuing service over the Phoenix, which is seeing some heavies. So very glad to get to see that, and I'm excited to see how they can develop that in the near future. Sorry about that, everybody. I really need to get a new headphone wire. It activated Siri, man. I talked about this in a couple previous videos, but apparently when I get really excited for these updates as of late, I just cannot talk. So I'll try to slow it down a couple notches here to make it a more pleasing and satisfying experience. So sorry about that, but let's get started here with the Reno Air American Airlines 737-800. This guy's coming in today from Reno, Tahoe, fittingly enough, and this guy's gonna have a continuing service today over to Wichita, Kansas, now getting 737s. That's the first time, to my knowledge, that they're getting that. So really cool to see how fast they've developed Wichita, and certainly excited to see what's come in the near future on that service. American Airlines Airbus A320 coming in today from Oklahoma City, continuing service today out to Knoxville, Tennessee, also seeing A320s. How about that? Bunch of change-ups there, but we love to see it as always. American Airlines Airbus A321 staying at the cancel delivery. This guy's coming in today from Atlanta, and this guy has a continuing service today out to Nashville, Tennessee. And this American Airlines Airbus A319 is currently coming in today from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Non-stop service today out to Lexington here in a little bit. And the last aircraft for Terminal C is this American Airlines Airbus A320 coming in from Spokane, Washington, continuing service today out to Austin Bertram International Airport. All right, so that's all looking really good. Let's start with the American Airlines regional jets to change it up, and then we'll progress around Terminal A and B. So welcome to Terminal B, let's get started. American Eagle CRJ-700, sometimes they fly in here a little bit, so that's why I have one here as we see. This guy's kind of making the nonstop service today in from Colorado Springs, continuing service today over to Huntsville, Alabama. This American Eagle CRJ-900. I'll talk about this a little bit more at the end of the video. What I'm going to do is go through the entire update and then do a voiceover for probably 20 minutes worth of talking, because I don't want to waste your guys' time, excuse me, if you don't want to listen to that, but I have a bunch to say, so feel free to stick around if you'd like to. But this CRJ-900 is currently coming in today from Grand Junction, service out to Shreveport here in a little bit. These are all Mesa, by the way. Next Mesa CR9 is currently making the service in today from Fort Wayne and continuing service today over to, let's go with, let's see, trying to find a good city here. Houston Hobby. And this this is the Umbrella 145, making that service up to Champaign, Illinois. Super cool to see. This is going to be the last Envoy 145 service at DFW, which is crazy to think about, but we're already here, so unbelievable. We'll honor this in upcoming updates very tremendously, but what a good looking aircraft, and man, I want to miss him so much. Mesa CRJ-900, this guy's coming in from Birmingham, Alabama, continuing service today out to Cedar Rapids. And here is another Mesa CRJ-900 in the house livery this time. This guy's coming in from, let's see here, Bloomington, Illinois, and we'll be continuing today out to Gulfport. Gulfport's in Mississippi, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly. And here comes the conga line of American Eagle Umbrella 175s, all Envoy. First one up is coming in today from Dayton, Ohio, and continuing out to Evansville, Indiana. Umbrella 175 coming in today from Springfield, continuing out to Tallahassee, Florida. Umbrella 170 filling in for 175, just trying to get some depth, and sometimes they rotate these for Envoy anyway, so it all works out perfectly. Coming in today from Monterey, California, and continuing today over to Wilmington. I think that is North Carolina, if I'm reading the code correctly. I wrote codes for all these, and I redid the sheet for the upcoming change for Mesa, as I'll talk about more at the end of the video. So this is going to be the last couple updates that I have just codes, but I have the full cities wrote on the news sheet, so that'll be nice. And one more, Envoy 175. This guy's coming in from Billings, Montana, and continuing today over to Tucson, Arizona. All right, next up we have this American Airlines, of course, macro mode, Airbus A321. This guy is kind of making the nonstop service as we begin a full conga line of mainline services out to Portland, and this guy came in earlier from Puerto Vallarta. And then let's see if I can get the camera out of macro and also not lose my references in the process. All right, let's see. Perfect. All right, American Airlines, Airbus A321. This guy's currently making the macro mode service. Just kidding. This guy's currently making the nonstop in from Boston, and this guy's continuing out to Charleston, South Carolina. Or, oh, shoot, this is a Neo. My bad, guys. Sorry. This guy's coming in from San Antonio and continuing out to Newark. That's better. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to get the camera out of the macro because it's really frustrating. All right, here we go. One bad focus aircraft, but this is the previous release American 737-800 by NG Models, I believe. This guy's going to make nonstop servicing from Fort Lauderdale and nonstop over to Jacksonville following that. Another new model, this is the American Airlines Airbus A320 CFM 2022 release. Good looking model in my opinion. You can kind of compare the colors if you want to. We have a full conga line of them as we speak. Nevertheless, this A320 is coming in today from Pensacola and continuing today out to Columbus, Ohio. American Airlines Airbus A321, I didn't want to shade it, but Airbus A321 fence tips is coming in today from, this is over from El Paso and continuing out to New Orleans today. Sorry, I have too many routes to be honest on here. American Airlines 737-800. This guy's going to make the nonstop service today in from Libria, Costa Rica, and continuing today over to San Francisco. Sorry, I can barely see my screen because of how sunny it is. And this American Airlines Airbus A321 is currently coming in today from Charlotte and continuing today over to Omaha, Nebraska. Here's another 2 of 3 of the new 737-800. Super glad to have it. It's a really nice release. Love the Wi-Fi box and all those details. This guy's coming in today from New York, John F. Kennedy, continuing out to Norfolk. 737 MAX has not been very present, but I did see one sub in from Omaha, Nebraska, so that will make sense here. And this Airbus A319 with IAE engines is coming in today from Durango and continuing over to, let's see here. Let's go with Bakersfield for this guy. Alrighty, this American Airlines Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Buffalo, and this guy has a nonstop over to Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, sorry, checking all the aircraft here because I need to. Okay, we'll utilize this one. I was hoping I had one more Gemini 319 up here, but this will be perfect. All right, so this American Airlines Airbus A319 with Sharklets is currently making some new mainline routes here at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport from American Airlines. This guy's making the nonstop service. To my knowledge, these are brand new, particularly one of them for sure, but the other two I'm not completely sure on, or actually there's quite a few here, but we'll start with the ones that I'm pretty confident on. This guy's making the nonstop service today in from Panama City, Florida, brand new mainline service to my knowledge, up from a CR9 to a A319. And this guy's heading out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as AA Flight 2060 up to FSD. My good friend JJ Skippy lives up there and got to catch the inaugural flight for the American Airlines mainline service, first since 1993 when they had a brief year stint on Fokker 100s. Now they are flying to Dallas twice daily, Airbus A319. And really cool, you can see that of all variants, fence tips, IAEs, CFM fence tips, and also Sharklets, as this inaugural would suggest. He went out there to catch it, and man, it was super cold. So kudos to him for still making a way to catch that, even though the wind chill was -20 Fahrenheit. And also not to mention that it was also really cool that I got to catch it flying over me, which was really cool. A little bit warmer down here for us than it was there, but got to catch it flying over, and then he caught the arrival. So that's pretty cool. Nevertheless, though, new services, and we love to get to see it. We're not quite done with new Airbus A319 services though, as America West today is going to be doing some more for us. This guy's currently making the nonstop service in from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and this guy has a continuing service out to Asheville. I believe that's in North Carolina, but both those are also new Airbus A319 routes, which is very exciting. Really surprised on Cedar Rapids. I thought that would be RJ's for a long time, but cities like Wichita, FSD, Cedar Rapids, Panama City are really progressing. So we'd love to get to see that in America continuing to really make it happen, and that's why I've been supporting the Airbus A319 for America for a long time. It's a really perfect size for routes like these and really fits the void. So certainly glad to get to see that, and I'm excited to see what's to come in the near future there. This American Airlines 737-800 is currently making a nonstop service today in from Fort Myers and continuing out to San Jose, California. And this American Airlines Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner 2020 released by GeminiJets, currently making a nonstop service today. This guy is coming in. Let's see what route I can pull out here. This guy is coming in from Miami. This guy has a continuing service today out to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Perfect here in the A terminal. They can leave out of here, so that's really cool, and it works perfectly for this. We have a Mesa Sierra Day-900 taxiing into the ramp. This guy's making a nonstop in from Destin Fort Walton Beach, continuing today out to, let's see here. How about, sorry guys, a bunch of these are duplicates of main lines is where these Mesa 900 flies, but we'll just send this guy out to Houston Intercontinental. American Airlines 737-800, this is the GeminiJets 2013 release. This guy's currently making the nonstop flight today. In from Cleveland, heading out to Cincinnati here in a little bit. And we have a Learjet 75 currently coming in from the FBO. This guy's going to be taking off nonstop service today out to Vance Knives. What a nice ride that is. And American Airlines 737-800 in the Air Cal retro livery. Certainly glad to get to see this several times recently. This guy's kind of making a nonstop flight today over to Hartford and continuing today over to after coming in, from San Diego. So glad to get to see that progression right there. Next up is this American Airlines Boeing 777-200 ER. This guy's currently coming in today from Frankfurt and continuing today over to, not a ton of 777 routes, but quite a few. We'll say that this guy's going to be heading over to Phoenix on the outbound one this time. All right, this American Airlines 737-800 logo on the winglet is currently making a nonstop service today. We'll say this guy's coming in from Los Angeles, continuing over to Vancouver. And this American Airlines Airbus A319 is currently coming in today from Pittsburgh and continuing out to Syracuse. And this American Airlines 737-800. This is the 3 of 3, the new one that I just got. Love them. They're super nice. Nevertheless, this guy's coming in from Jacksonville and continuing out to Orange County. This Airbus A321 with fence tips is currently coming in today from Cancun, and it will continue today over to, let's see, I'm trying to see if I'm missing anywhere yet, San Del Cabo. This Airbus A321 IAEs this time is currently coming in today from Las Vegas and continuing, or excuse me, how about Lost Wages? That's better. Anyways, this guy's nonstop over to Palm Springs. American Airlines Airbus A321 Sharklets currently coming in, a bunch of 321s, 3 in a row, can't believe it. This guy's coming in today from Sacramento, continuing out to Salt Lake City, Utah. And we already did those. All right, so now let's do all these taxiing aircraft for the 1.8s, and then I'll swing back around and hopefully have some more light there for some cargos, the hangar, and these aircraft, and UPS, of course. All right, here's another American Mesa CRJ-900. This guy is currently coming in from Kansas City and continuing today over to Knoxville. This Learjet 75 is also just coming out of the FBO. This guy is heading out to the East Coast, though, service up to Teterboro. Love to see it. And this American Airlines Boeing 787-9 is currently making a nonstop out to Tokyo and Narita and made a service earlier today in from, let's see here, Los Angeles. Perfect. I know Aviation got to fly a 777-200 over there, so that's really cool. Glad to see they're flying 222s over to LAX. Usually always been Dreamliners lately, so that's nice. This American A319 is waiting for this Mesa CRJ-900 to continue his pushback. This guy is currently making a nonstop service today in from, Greensboro, North Carolina, and nonstop now over to Oklahoma City. Sorry, I have way too many routes on here. This Mesa CRJ-900. Dang, I'm putting a bunch of these in here. This guy's currently coming in today from Midland and will continue over to San Antonio, Texas. Can't believe they have those. That's kind of crazy. What I'll do is I'll go over there to that side while I move, or yeah, I need to go over there. So I'll go over there and get those. We'll start right here with this American 737. Man, bunch of mainline. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, wow, I can actually fulfill everything nowadays. All those 737s really make a difference. Anyways, this 737 is coming in from Fresno and nonstop out to, I'm trying to think if I have like a big destination I haven't hit yet. I don't even think I've got a Chicago, or yeah, I did get one Chicago. Miami, I don't even think I've got a Miami. Send them out to Miami, please. 777-300 also taxing out, as you guys could probably guess, London Heathrow for this guy. It's realistic too, is what's funny. So London Heathrow after coming in from there earlier. Embraer Ear J-175, bunch of these too, but I mean, it's pretty realistic, and as we'll hear at the end of the video, going to be even more so in the near future. Coming in from Grand Junction, now and stop out to Gainesville following that. Alrighty, the Lufthansa Airbus A340-300. This is abruptly, and kind of sad, but very abruptly, it's going to be the final time this will be here, which is very sad. This guy's going to make the non-stop service today out to Frankfurt, Germany, as Lufthansa, with not much notice, decided that 787-9 is ready for more U.S. cities, including Denver, Dallas. I think Chicago was on that list and a couple others. So certainly sad. I'm going to very much miss the A340-300, but I'm very thankful for our very long stint with it. We had a really nice push here post-pandemic from late 2020 all the way up until now. So very thankful for it. We got it a bunch, and I'm glad I got to utilize it so many times, and I'm glad we got to take advantage of it. So hopefully we may get it on it, like, I don't know if we'll get like a substitution or something, but I would assume once they flip to Dreamliner, this is probably going to be it. And while it's unfortunate that pretty much the full landscape of international routes here is going to be 787s and A350s, I still got to be very appreciative of what this 343 did here at Dallas for many years. So very appreciative. I got to see it at least a few more times, and what a great aircraft this is. But the Lufthansa Airbus A340-300 in the current colors is currently making the non-stop service today in for Frankfurt and heading back out there. Let me get this aircraft into some better light on a longer final. Very glad to finally get this, and this really starts the movement that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Sorry, did not mean to hit the camera. I wanted to push this up so you guys can see a little bit better. Super, super excited to finally have Cargo Lux. Yes, so finally some new cargo carriers at my airport. Brand new model. Got this at the Miami Airplane Shop. Really glad to get this, and a great component to the fleet. Really excited to start to continue to build unique sectors of my collection, which has been a goal of mine for quite some time, and this is a really great start to it. So certainly glad to get to see this. But this this Cargo Lux Boeing 747-8 freighter is currently landing on runway 18 right. This guy's making the non-stop service today in from Luxembourg, and we'll be heading back out there. Super glad to have this. These have been flying here every single day, so I thought it was really a worthy investment. I'm really excited to finally have this. Really cool aircraft, interactive as well. So as you guys can see with the doors and everything, they do come in and out, and I'm hopeful to display it more very soon like that, but I'm still waiting to get a more adequate cargo ramp for these guys. So certainly very glad to have this. It's really nice, and I think it looks fantastic. So that's absolutely awesome. Alrighty. Looking really good through here. I am going to move it over there so we can get those aircraft, and then we'll go from there, everybody. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, let's knock out some aircraft over here before we take it over to the other side of the airport. So here's the Avianca Airbus A320 with Shotcuts and old colors. Considering getting the special livery they're doing, because at this point I just want something to represent Avianca, because they fly here a bunch, and I definitely would like something good here. But nevertheless, this guy, of course, coming in from San Salvador, and we'll be heading back out there here in a little bit. Really cool route. Was super glad to get to see a bunch of these recently, and they're really beautiful planes. So Avianca, keep up the great work. Really cool airline, and I'm excited to see what happens to them in the near future. This boutique PC-12 is currently making the non-stop service out to Carlsbad, New Mexico today. Really hoping to amp up on my EAS carriers, including Contour and all those. So, but certainly nice to have boutique here. They've been a great addition, and I'm eager to see what happens to them in the near future. This Spirit Airbus A320 in the Spirit.com engine, filled in livery on that part at least, is currently making the non-stop service today in from Fort Lauderdale. This guy's a continuing service today out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. New model here. Very glad to have this one. It's super cool. So lovely to see that right there. ExoJet Citation X currently coming in today, also from Fort Lauderdale. This guy's out to Los Angeles International Airport here in a little bit. So certainly glad to get to see that. And it's American Airlines. Boeing 787-8 is currently making a non-stop service today. This guy's coming in from, we'll say this guy's coming in from Miami. Pretty consistent there on multiple heavies. So love to get to see that. Really great route. Was so fortunate to get to fly it, and absolutely love to see that right there. So that's looking great. Alrighty, over to the other side of the airport we go, everybody. Alrighty guys, next up is the UPS Boeing 767-300 freighter. This guy's currently coming in today from Tampa and continuing over to Louisville. This Delta Airlines Airbus A220-100 coming in from Boston today, continuing out to LaGuardia. Gotta have all these Delta flights. We absolutely love to see it for the big legacy carrier. This American Eagle Embraer J-175 is currently coming in from Springfield today. This guy's continuing service today over to, let's send him over to, trying to think of 175 off the top of my head, Lubbock, Texas. And this Thetum 300 is currently coming in today from Las Vegas, and he's heading over to San Antonio on a pretty short flight. This American Eagle Embraer J-175, also by Envoy, is coming in today. This guy will be making a service in from Wichita today. This guy has a continuing service today over to, let's send this guy over to Colorado Springs. And let's hit up the cargo ramp first. Really good looking cargo ramp, some really nice additions here. I'm really liking the look of how it's been progressing here, and it looks really nice. So let's take a look at this more in detail. Let me actually get a picture of this. This is pretty sweet. Very pleased with the progression here. But anyways, let's get started. All right, this FedEx Express Boeing 757-200 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Indianapolis, and we'll be heading back out there. Love that Indianapolis operation. This Prime Air Boeing 767-300 freighter, I really want the winglets, but hey, the non-winglets is more than good because it's super hard to get these no matter what. This guy's kind of making the service today in from Cincinnati, and we'll be heading back out there. So really glad to get to see all these Cincinnati flights. Speaking of which, here is another one, a brand new model. So glad to have this one. This is the Polar Boeing 767-300 freighter DHL hybrid. Super excited to finally have this one. I know I got the Kalita recently, but this one is the more accurate one, and I got a really good deal on a Waffles Collectibles restock. So I'm really glad to have this Phoenix model. It's super nice. Stay on the lookout for it in an upcoming massive unboxing among the rest of these new models. But nevertheless, this guy's kind of making nonstop service today. This guy is coming in from, I'm forgetting where this guy was coming in from. Cincinnati, duh, what am I thinking? So this guy's coming in from Cincinnati. Super glad to have this one. It's a super nice model. Highly recommend it if you can find it. And what a great model this is. It looks fantastic. Alrighty, this FedEx Express McDonald's MD-11 freighter is currently making the nonstop service today in from Memphis, Tennessee. And we'll be heading back out there. Really nice model. Super glad to have this one. It is super, super nice. Love that service, and they are going really good with that. So that's looking great. And lastly, another new model. Thank you so much, AS Aviation, for this one. This is a blank Boeing 747-400. Still trying to decide what I want to do with it and kind of waiting for some input. So if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. I'm thinking some sort of cargo airline, whether it's like China Airlines or something like that. I would love to do another cargo, but just thought I would put it over here kind of just to add some depth and variety to our cargo lineup. But nevertheless, this guy's kind of making the nonstop service in. We'll just say that it's coming in from Anchorage, just a random cargo flight. Throw on Kalita or whichever one you'd like there. Various ones we could do, but yeah, looking really nice and glad to have it. Really nice model. It looks really good. All right, the hangar to round up today's airport update before the UPS cargo ramp's also looking really good. So let's take a look at this. The American Airlines Boeing 777-200 is currently waiting idle. We'll be heading out to Paris here in a little bit. And this 787-8 will be heading out to Seoul tomorrow, looking really good. And this 787-9 will be heading out to Amsterdam tomorrow, so a really good looking lineup right there. Why don't I do something different? I've never done a perspective like this, so let's see what this looks like. Hopefully you guys don't get too bad of a headache here, but this American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER is currently getting some maintenance done. Sorry, I think the hangar moved on me, so that's why I kind of got messed up. But nevertheless, this guy's currently getting some routine maintenance done. It'll be heading out to London here in a couple days, looking really good. And then we have various American Airlines mainline aircraft hanging out here, including the US Airways Heritage Airbus E321, Boeing 737-800, and an Airbus E319 with sharklets. Plenty of action, just they got to get some routine maintenance every now and then, so that's what we got going here. And the Sierra J-900 here as well. Lastly, for today's airport update, we have a really nice lineup here of UPS aircraft. The Boeing 757-200 is currently coming in from San Antonio and continuing over to Phoenix. The McDonnell Douglas MD-11 is currently coming in from Ontario, and this guy will be heading over to Chicago Rockford. There we go. And lastly, this Boeing 747-400. Super glad that these have been still coming in. They're really beautiful planes. This guy is coming in today from Louisville, and this guy is continuing service today up to Anchorage, looking really good. And just like that, that'll do for today's airport update, everybody. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, as this was a super fun update to put together. What I'm going to do to make it a little bit more efficient on your guys' time is, if you guys would like to watch, I have a bunch to talk about. I got to go to DFW twice recently, which was a bunch of fun on a day trip, and also flying through there on a bigger trip. And I also got a bunch of new models like I was talking about, and kind of some changes, and also just noticed a bunch of changes that you guys probably saw throughout today's airport update to make it a little bit more realistic. So I have quite a bit to talk about. So what I'll do is voice over this part. So if you guys came for just the airport update, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. But I do have quite a bit of DFW news and updates to go over in that voiceover, so expect a bunch of updates, my personal experiences, and just a magnitude of different things. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Feel free to check that out. And yeah, if not, no worries, but I hope you guys enjoyed that part, and I will do the conclusion from there. So hope you guys enjoyed the airport update portion, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching this portion of the video. Let's head into the experiences and all of that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'm excited to see you guys again soon. So let's take it into the next portion.